What's going on, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. It's exciting to see that Bitcoin is getting closer and closer to an all-time high price. So we're going to touch on Bitcoin really quick, then we're going to dive into some recent news for alts. Alright, so we're getting a taste of different assets starting to wake up, which is great to see. Looking at the Bitcoin price chart over 10 plus years has historically always held above the 21-week EMA during bull runs, backtesting on the way up as we can see in 2012, along with 2016 and the 2017 super cycle. In 2020, it did the same thing after the Bitcoin halving, heading into all-time highs, and we got a full close above the 50% Fibonacci retracement. So we've done it this cycle, the previous cycle, and this cycle, and each time this has happened, the Bitcoin price chart has historically headed to a new all-time high price within 1 to 3.2 months. So I'm rooting for an all-time high price for Bitcoin, and if you're rooting for the highest number of alts to rocket in the future, I know some have retraced, but to have the highest potential ROI, we should be cheering for Bitcoin to go as high as possible before finding its top. And the same thing for Ethereum, considering that BlackRock even filed for the Ethereum spot ETF back in November. So exciting times. We can see we're well above the 21-week EMA. No matter when the crashes or pullbacks come, I want to see us holding this level just like we have in the past. Like in 2020 here, we had a few wicks or weekly candles backtesting this level, really never backtested on the way up, and this structure was different than the 2017 super cycle. But we can see how well it was respected in 2016, 2017, all the way up. So we're going to find out if this could be one of the first times that Bitcoin actually creates a new all-time high price before the halving date. Back in 2020, it was after the halving. During the halving in 2016, the all-time high was also after, and even the halving in 2012, we created all-time highs after. We have Don right here sharing this must-see thread that was built by Colin Talks Crypto a long time ago. This is super helpful. It aggregates about 9 different metrics for Bitcoin. It's historically shown the bear market bottoms in dark green for the previous cycle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and also showed the Bitcoin tops when it was in dark red. Now this is not a perfect indicator, but for a macro look, even timing it within 1 to 3 months, I think this is super powerful. So we can see market top when it got very dark red right there. This cycle, very dark red near the market top. And then the previous cycle, we had dark red. We did create another high, but this was bearish divergence on the monthly time frame. So me personally, I'm not even considering it a market top unless Bitcoin is a lot closer to red or dark red, and we're not even close to that. Yes, there will be pullbacks. We've seen common 30%, even 40% pullbacks in previous cycles, as Bitcoin is heading to an all-time high price. And Bitcoin's really about 3 to 4% away from an all-time high price. And Bitcoin's market cap already created a new all-time high price. We have more and more tether printed, historically leading to bigger pumps. And the total crypto market cap today is at 2.4 trillion. The all-time high was 3 trillion. And for example, the cloud market today is a $5 trillion industry. This took decades to develop. And obviously, considering the $16 trillion tokenization estimate by BCG, cross-border payments going to, what, 250 trillion by 2030? Considering all types of assets, even DePIN for decentralized physical infrastructure networks, scaling solutions, ZK proofs, AI use cases, that's why there's a huge argument for the crypto asset class in the years ahead to go to 5, 8, 10 trillion plus, potentially a lot more. We know the global equities market or the stock market is over $100 trillion today for reference, and keep in mind, this is going to be interoperating as BlackRock's Larry Fink has emphasized. For bonds as well, another market over 100 trillion. And the block shared this article a few days ago, and this is from Bloomberg senior ETF analyst. His name is Eric. He's been tracking the launch of the Bitcoin spot ETFs. He had estimated that the ETFs would see an upper band of inflows of 10 to 15 billion, and so far we've seen 7 billion. And it's only been a month. And he even says right here, were the ETFs to continue at this current pace, it would be around 150 billion of inflows over the year, tenfold what he predicts, which would be crazy. And then we'd have to consider what would happen for Ethereum if it got this approval for a spot ETF. I believe it happens, I just don't know when. Looking at the Ethereum price chart, if you looked at the news back here, there was so many bad things about ETH having congestion, looking like it's going to dump, all types of negative press. So Bitcoin already has $7 billion of net inflows due to the spot ETF. If Ethereum gets approved for a spot ETF, of that $7 billion, how much would actually flow into Ethereum? And considering Ethereum's market cap, which is 3 times smaller than Bitcoin, billions of dollars would have a huge effect. And of course, if we end up having a super cycle, Bitcoin's likely going to get a lot more volume first. And remember, the SEC or the regulators, they're not on our side. We have seen and will continue to see different denials or bad news acting like the Ethereum spot ETF will never get approved, and then boom, it eventually does. Alright, let's get into some recent news. So first up, we have Shibu running on Casper. This chart is starting to move and wake up, which is great to see. It has a $1.3 million market cap today. So I like seeing one of the first meme coins launching on Casper, but people might actually dismiss this, thinking this is just a meme coin, but they're building a bunch if you look at the docs on their website. With Shibu Markets, we have a pad, we have a swap, and then the Survivors game that's launching. So Mr. Casper was tweeting right here, Casper Network on friendly markets where you can purchase Shibu using the Casper wallet. So under the Shibu token, and I love this name instead of Shiba, we can see some different use cases, and they also have a 5% sell tax, which is super interesting. We can see this 5% sell tax. These are fees that are collected from their ecosystem, BooPad, Shibu Swap, Game, NFTs, and Shibu Markets, and will be destined to burns, also centralized exchange liquidity in the future. So I just retweeted the docs, so you can check that out, or just go right to the website, and then the Shibu Analytics, just so we can track the market cap of this one. Next up, for Hedera, so they have had a lot of things going on. We'll try to touch on some of them and a lot more in future videos, but we can see right here, shared by House of Chimera. Comparative analysis of the average transactions per second across leading networks. We can see Hedera's in the lead, coming up to 43 billion transactions on its mainnet. We can also see right here that BitGo has recently joined Hedera's governing council. I didn't expect this one, but this is a big deal because BitGo is one of the few qualified custodians. And BitGo was the first qualified custodian purpose-built for storing digital assets and established BitGo New York Trust in 2021. In 2022, BitGo launched institutional-grade staking, DeFi, NFT, and Web3 services. And look at this, BitGo secures approximately 20% of all on-chain Bitcoin transactions by value and supports more than 700 digital assets within its platform. More than 1,500 institutional clients in 50 countries. We also know that years ago, BitGo is the one that built enterprise-grade wallets and treasury management platforms for XRP. And right on bitgo.com/product/staking, we can scroll down. They support a variety of assets, including Algo, Casper, AVAX, and many more. Alright, just had to pause the video really quick because I got some news that my sister is officially engaged. So, baby sister is getting married, so that's awesome. But anyways, let's keep going. I'll try to trim all this up. I'm on day 22 of doing 75 hard again, so I plan to do it each year just like last year, so I'm just trying to juggle a few things. Alright, next up for XRP. So we have a bunch going on. Of course, you can visit xrpscan.com. You can come up to click the amendments, and we can track the progress of different amendments when they get approved, and you can see which ones have been approved or voted yes. We still have some other amendments under the registry, including the cross-chain bridge, DIDs, or decentralized identifiers for decentralized identity. This is going to be a huge use case in the future, especially considering this year is an election year. I think there will be a narrative either before or after for decentralized identity solutions. We've also noticed almost every single layer 1 has a big focus on DIDs. And of course, the long-awaited automated market maker. I'll be participating in this when this goes live. I just don't know how long this takes to actually get approved. We have this gentleman on Twitter, Vet, sharing, XRP is used as the only bridge currency in the auto-bridging feature of the XRP ledger. New proposal XLS60D aims to set auto-bridging to be considered by default to bridge issued currencies via XRP. And for any techie people, he did a great 7-minute video explaining this on Twitter, sharing the XRP ledger automated market maker can use auto-bridging too. And I saw this on Twitter for the digital asset SUI or SUI, and this is going to be the future for a variety of other chains. So Matteo sat down with his father and successfully onboarded him onto SUI thanks to the Zero Knowledge login or ZK login. He logged in using the ZK login, no 12 words, signing right into Google. And I saw Xtract say, Algorand needs this, tagging John Woods, the CTO of the Algorand Foundation, and John Woods says, we're cooking something. So we have to remember how early we are in the scheme of things of actual utility. This infrastructure is still being built for Zero Knowledge logins, also the DREC alliance with Hedera and Algorand for decentralized key recovery and asset recovery. All of this has to be put in place before we can actually entertain like mainstream adoption. Ripple's Twitter has been pretty quiet for the month of March as we're just starting out, and we can see on the XRP price chart we're up to 65 cents today. We can see HBAR officially out of accumulation, breaking up and almost closing this very first fair value gap. It's really close. Let me actually adjust this because you can see how fair value gaps are actually measured. We can see it's based off of that wick. So we're going to fix this just live really quick. I'm going to fix this horizontal ray. Go right there. So did we close it? Pretty damn close. And the bottom of this horizontal ray should be right on that wick, so we can adjust this rectangle just for reference. But yeah, pretty damn close. So just like the HBAR price chart, in accumulation for hundreds of days, showing signs of strength and finally breaking out. There are a variety of assets starting to wake up, even going up to their March and April 2022 high, which is super exciting, and then a few have even created new all-time highs. And there are still a variety of assets that we've shared in previous videos that are in accumulation yet to break up. When Casper finally breaks above this fair value gap at 7.2 cents, I know for certain we're breaking out of accumulation. So for people familiar with the tokenomics, we've already discussed the potential with success, and we can see right here, we came up to the pivot, but we're still below the R levels. We've already seen different assets get the volume up to the R1, R2, even R3, and then a few have actually even gone up to the March and April 2022 high. I have a bunch of information to share in future videos going over a variety of different assets and very important news, but we're going to finish up with this. Because where we're at in the market structure, it is so important to have an exit plan in place. We have Merlin linked in the top of this YouTube video description. I will add a card to this YouTube video where you can watch that video showing the features of Merlin and how I personally structure exit plans. These are just templates and examples, but a way with Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. I can set staggered targets and sell at a variety of percentages, de-risking the entire way, recouping my initial investment, understanding my total profit, what I owe in taxes, and more. You can edit the exit strategy for every single one of your holds. You can sell a certain percentage. You can sell all of it. You can hold some for long term if you see long-term growth in that ecosystem, and have a plan in place for this coming cycle. So I have Merlin linked in the top of the YouTube video description where you can try this for free for 30 days and look at the numbers. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Huge thank you to all to hit the like button, and I will catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.